coming down in temperature this year, the new regulation. And there, first morning of running for Williams, first run out as a racing driver in some time for Robert Kubica.
His last race, Abu Dhabi, back in 2010, and that is the massive banner that we have been speaking about. You can see the reaction from those who are already in. There's a massive gaggle at that end of the grandstand, massive by testing standards. Yes. And it is good to see Robert back on the racetrack.
It's good to see Williams on the racetrack.
Absolutely.
They obviously got out yesterday afternoon. If this is your first day of testing, let's bring you up to speed. Williams didn't take part in the first 2 days of testing, a delay on actually even transporting their car out here, let alone putting the thing together, holding them back. It arrived at 4 a.m. on Tuesday night, so yesterday they were building the car for most of the day. It finally got out in the afternoon. George Russell putting it through its paces, 20-odd laps on the board, which is good for a shakedown. Today, though, will be its first real run in anger. All the systems checks done, car taken apart, put back together last night. So yeah, hopefully they can get on with the program, albeit 3 days in the dustbin, but they will get 5 solid days of testing in this car now, and that is better than nothing.
Yeah, Ferrari beyond the 400 lap mark for the test so far, so Williams immediately on the back foot. But let's put it another way, the fight back starts here for the hugely successful team. Finished last in the Constructors' Championship last year, but we have alluded to this in the opening days about what a human achievement it is for Robert Kubica to be back in that car, and as he completes his install lap, he'll almost certainly be back into the pits after this one. You can see the rear showing you how cold it is out there. No grip at all, and he is coasting about as he tries to apply the power down. He was 5th in his last race. Look at Claire Williams there in the garage, and what has been a chastening week for her.
The pressure must be huge on Claire Williams. Robert's going out, and he's not even going to come in and do a systems check on his one lap. He's going to stay out for a little bit and get a feel for the car. Yeah, Claire said yesterday that she was embarrassed, that it was embarrassing what was going on at the team and the fact that they hadn't turned up for the start of testing. But, you know, as we said yesterday, there are teams that turn up to this first test session and have turned up to this first test session with a year-old car. Yeah. And Williams haven't done that. Yes, they've turned up late, but they've turned up with a 2019 car. They've turned up with the car that they will take to Melbourne with them. So, look, there will be, you know, and I'm sure there is at the moment, a massive investigation underway within the team as to what has gone wrong, how it went wrong. Sure, okay, the time between the end of the season and the start of the new season is a little shorter this year than in years gone by. Not by much.
By a week, isn't it?
Yes. Just not by much. So there is a slight excuse. But, you know, look, the team have already said they're chastened, they're embarrassed by it. Will heads roll? Time will tell. But it's not the start of the season that they wanted in a year where they know full well they have to rebuild.
Kubica at turn number 10. It will be great to see him having plugged away, having always kept the belief. He's been open and honest and said he wasn't sure if he could ever get back here. It was a test in a GP3 car that gave him the confidence a few years ago that he could return to single-seaters. And with a driver of the talent of Robert Kubica, a driver who Fernando Alonso rated as the one that worried him. Yeah, and
I remember when Robert was coming back and the drivers were asked about Robert coming back, and Lewis was so effusive in his praise of what a talented guy Robert was as a racing driver. Now, is the Robert Kubica 2019 spec the same as that 2010 spec, Robert Kubica? It's difficult to know the answer to that yet. He does have physical limitations, that much is clear. But, as has been said by racers who have raced against Robert Kubica at even 75% of what Robert Kubica was is still someone to fear.
That's the voice of Will Buxton. I'm Alex Jakes, and down in the pit lane for us once again, we say a very good morning to Rosanna Tennant.
Good morning, guys. How are you both?